sikuwa najua nifanye nini, nilikuwa tu nakaa tu na yeye kwa nyumba yani.
When a baby is born, when they cry, they move their hands bilaterally. When you find it's only one hand moving, there's a problem.
If your child, is not smiling by about 4 to 6 weeks, that's a red flag about something not quite happening right in the brain.
I think the most critical thing would be, 1, identifying a problem, and 2, planning what sort of intervention is going to take place.
From birth, children develop or acquire neurological skills like turning in bed, following objects, develop neck support, learn how to sit down. Then they crawl, learn how to stand, then talk, and all this is neurodevelopment. If they skip any of these milestones, then they will be said to have a disorder of neurodevelopment.
Tazama heads out to Mathare slums, an informal settlement in Ngong town, to meet up with Irene Nyawera, a mother of 2 boys. Her eldest son, Jonathan, suffers from a neurodevelopmental disorder.
Nilipata huyu mtoto, nilimzalia Kayole City Council Hospital, na kama mtoto mzuri ako na kilo 3.1 na akalia, lakini after 4 days mtoto akagojeka kitofu, na nikampeleka hapa St. Mary's Lang'ata. Tukalazwa hapo, tukakaa hapo 1 week, mtoto akawa msiba, lakini maisha, wakati anakuwa nikaona atembei, aongei, arushi mkono akisike kitu, na nikarudi huko. Akaniambia niende nikiangalia mtoto, lakini nikiona atembei nini nimrudishe. Wakati nilitoka hospitali after 1 week, akawa mzima, alipata hizi conversion. Kwa hivyo alipona, lakini wakati ninakaa naona anastuka. Nikamrudisha huko. Wakaniambia niendelee na madawa.
Jonathan's condition got worse at 1 year of age, and his conversions only got worse. She rushed him to Kenyatta National Hospital, and that was when he was diagnosed with meningitis and told that the meningitis had caused him to have cerebral palsy. She, however, says she was not given any referral to a specialist.
Kwa hivyo nikajaribu kutafuta huko pahali naweza peleka, at least nipate kupeleka mtoto wangu, lakini sikupata. Mimi nikakaa na mtoto kwa nyumba hivyo.
We decided to find out from an expert what exactly had happened to Jonathan and why he developed a neurodevelopmental disorder.
I think Jonathan suffered from meningitis. I also think Jonathan suffered from birth asphyxia, birth injury. It doesn't come out clearly from the mother, because the mother delivered in a health facility, health center in Kayole. And we don't have any notes to indicate to us what happened during delivery and after delivery. If the meningitis was treated properly, then most likely would not end up with the complications that we have. It requires occupational therapy for rehabilitation, training of the delayed milestones. He's unable to stand now. So it requires occupational therapy for him to be trained to stand and then to walk. And then from there, subsequently, to self-feed and toilet train and self-dress. And I told the mother, this is not a one-off thing. It's a long-term thing. Then I noticed he's not able to see properly. So it requires eye review. We require to be sure that this guy can see and see well. And of course, we have to test his hearing. The mother says he hears well, but that's the mother. We require to do it scientifically and find out whether he can hear or not. And if he can't, what interventions are there. So you require to formulate a menu with a nutritionist so that he can feed small quantities of food that have enough of the recommended daily allowances. And then, of course, the mother requires to be counseled. She has to be prepared for these eventualities. And then, of course, assessment for school placement.
Just to break it down, Jonathan requires to see a physiotherapist, an occupational therapist, an ENT specialist, an eye specialist, a nutritionist, a speech therapist, and he also needs to go for examination so that he can get school placement. These are services that are simply out of reach for Irene.
Mbele nilikosa chakula na nikipigia hata nani ama my dear sisters and brother wakakataa kucommunicate na mimi. Kwa hivyo nilianza kurogota hizi plastics na machuma kwa njia.
Daktari alini.
Neurodevelopmental disorders cause financial strain on parents because there are expensive conditions to manage. Support groups are helpful to parents with children with neurodevelopmental disorders.
Why is it important to have a parent support groups? It is because families go through stressful moments. You see, if these stressful moments are not curbed early, the parents can go through depression and mental illnesses. And again, give each other psychosocial support, give each other referral services, advocate for access of services to be brought closer to their homes. We have groups who've talked to various medical doctors, and we see occupational therapists coming into the support group level to do various therapies to the children, and this is what we want.
Fatma takes me to meet our parent support group in Kasarani, Nairobi.
Well, being in a support group was very, very important because when Kai came in, they did capacity building on us on issues of rights for persons with a disability. We had also civic education whereby we knew our real rights, what we are supposed to do as parents. So these lessons taught us now, we build up self-esteem whereby we could be able now to do advocacy on our own, sensitize other parents, and then feel also wanted in the community, because when you are alone you feel like you are neglected.
Nikikuja huku nilikuwa nikiongea hizo story naanza kulia, sikuwa naweza kuexplain, lakini wakati nimekuja huku nikakuta wamama wako na watoto hata wawili na wana afford kusmile, na mimi nikaona hata mimi siko peke yangu.
Children who suffer disorders of neurology, as we have learned, require to see a lot of specialists in order to help manage their conditions. The Child Development Center at Gertrude's Children's Hospital in Nairobi is a unique center which attempts to bring specialists who deal with these conditions together.
So what we wanted was to start a center where it would be like a one-stop clinic or a comprehensive clinic where any child who had a difficult development neurologically or problems could be assessed and offered some interventional help. What is the key here is early intervention. Early recognition of the problem, early intervention. Early intervention and early recognition will help a lot in this for the development of this child, and the idea is to let them lead as fairly normal life as possible.
The best time to start with the child is when they are young, because we are working on a young brain, and we say that we use the principle of plasticity. So this one we say that it's better to train a child when he's young, because you can mount the behavior the way you want it.
We have children who come in to see us at age 5 or 6, and as much as, yes, we can still intervene and get them achieving some success, it is always best when they come in as early as possible. So the whole phenomenon of early intervention is, it works best when a child comes in early.
It is clear that there is a challenge in accessing healthcare for proper diagnosis and management of neurological disorders. The public health sector should adopt models such as the CDC in public hospitals to make access of services easier.
That would be beautiful to have, and good enough. You acknowledge the fact that that would be quite expensive. You realize the government has the mandate to take care of all the children across the country, and so if you're talking about having one such center, then you'd still wonder, would it be able to cater across all the counties?
Public hospitals have tried to address the issue of insufficient pediatricians by ensuring a referral system from the lowest cadre of medical practitioners upwards But as it seems, the referrals don't happen fast enough.
The truth is that you'd unlikely to find pediatrician in all the facilities. Currently, the levels, if you're talking about the public facilities, probably it would be the level 4, level 5 facilities that would have pediatricians.
The chances of a general practitioner giving, forgive me, if the correct diagnosis are slimmer than the chances of a pediatrician giving the right diagnosis. Actually, the pediatrician should be the one to see that child.
Brethren, they are fearfully and wonderfully made. Disability, disability, it is not.
Mi naweza taka serikali walete kwa kila clinic free therapy na mafundisho ya free.
My advice to every parent with a person, with a child with a disability, is to let the child come out, or her as a parent, or him as a parent to come out and talk to other people about these issues of disability.